I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
IndianaSRN wants to put more kids on TV. And honestly, that's exactly what these kids deserve. They stream more than 350 high school and college games every year, giving Indiana athletes the spotlight they've earned. All games are free to watch with on-demand on their YouTube channel. The cost is amazingly affordable, which means more kids get their moment to shine. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
Representing skilled workers across Indiana. Discover the Boilermaker advantage with Local 374. Burtner Electric, spark your confidence, your trusted electrical partner since 1986. Wheeler Mission, helping our neighbors in need since 1893, thanks to generous, caring individuals like you. Morales Group Staffing, building better futures, one story at a time. Let us help you find your next opportunity. LifeWise Academy. LifeWise Academy brings Bible education to public school students during school hours. Learn more at lifewise.org. LIUNA, the Build America Union, 500,000 strong, fighting for better wages, safer job sites, and greater opportunities. And then finally, IndianaSRN Sports Page. Sports from border to border and coast to coast. Your source for high school and college sports coverage. As we say hello to you from the broadcast booth, alongside my good friend Charlie Harris, I'm Graham Nash. Charlie, we'll talk about both teams.
Dason Kirby, they're 3-1 through 4 games. He has 13 passing touchdowns. This team, they get into shootouts every single week. They love to pass the ball. And they're just so complimentary. I mean, they have the offense, they have the ground game, and they also have the defense coming up, giving up just 3 points. But on the ground game, I like Brody Horton. He hard runner, obviously complements the passing attack when they have to worry about the outside receivers, puts pressure on the middle linebackers every series.
And the thing that we really talked about when it comes to this team before we got on air was that Bedford North Lawrence returned 100% of its rushing yards, 100% of its receiving yards, and its starting quarterback from 2024.
And that is huge. That is so huge for high school kids to have these same guys on your team from last year to this year. You're building that chemistry, you're building that confidence, and you feel almost unstoppable. When you're passing and playing with the same exact group, it only helps.
And now let's talk a little bit about the hosts, Seymour High School Owls, 0-4 on the season. First 0-4 start for them since 2015. It's been a little bit slower, but a game like this can be exactly what they need to get on track.
Yeah, and they rely on the rushing attack a lot. They rely on Trayshawn Hawkins. He's the lead tailback for Seymour. But, Graham, if Seymour wants an upset win, they have to move the ball in the air. That's the only way you're going to beat a team like Bedford North Lawrence, because it seems like they put up 35 points every single week. So Seymour and Max Coates, the quarterback, he has to be on his A game. They have to really work the ball through the air if Seymour wants a chance to win.
Max Coates, he's just a junior, but when he gets going, when he gets warmed up, he can be a hard guy to stop. He's got a good arm, just needs to kind of build up that confidence a little bit to show it off. The other thing we should mention is that throughout this series, it's really been one dominated by the Owls, a 23-18 record against B&L. The last time that they faced off, Seymour won 49-0. An absolute routing.
It was a year ago, right?
A year ago, yep. And so that could also be something that the Owls come out here and be like, okay, you know what? We know this team because, like we mentioned, didn't change much from last year, so maybe that can give them a little
And
push.
teams can also be completely different from the first third of the season to the last week of the season. You learn so much through practice, through trial and error. So the way these teams look tonight could be drastically different than in 5 weeks from now. So it's really just those foundational pieces of working in during the week of practice of what do we really need to work on. And for Seymour, I think it's the offensive air attack.
Well, we mentioned how much of the offensive production. BNL is returning from 2024. For Seymour, it looks a lot different. The Owls lost 75% of its receptions, 65% of its rushing yards, and its starting quarterback from 2024.
And that, you ask a lot of Max Coates, because like you just said, when you lose 3/4 of your team, really, I mean, it's just so much harder to find that groove, a new group of guys, new plays being called, just a different offense, a different type of defensive system. And so that's also not easy, because obviously this is 4A, this is high-level Indiana high school football, so it's not easy to go out there with a new group of players and expect to find success right away.
The Owls are going to start with the football. BNL going to kick things off to Seymour High School on this homecoming weekend. Homecoming for Seymour. Saw a bit of the homecoming before the game. Very, very fun watch here as the Owls get ready to fight for their first win of the season. 0-4, 0-3 in conference play.
It just makes the environment so much more fun. It's homecoming. We've seen players on Seymour trying to win homecoming king. So it's just the environment, the fans here, the players' families. It's high school football. It's homecoming night, and it's a beautiful 70-degree night here in Seymour. It's just so much fun.
Alex Milliken and Aaron Holt back to receive the opening kick from Bedford North Lawrence. These two teams facing off for yet another time. Very old rivalry between these two sides, as Parker Beeson is going to kick things off for BNL. BNL led by first-year head coach Braden Tidd. Seymour led by Tyson Moore in his 6th season with the Owls.
And Graham, I think a big story today for Seymour, obviously searching for their first win of the season. I think, Graham, it's keeping time of possession. You cannot give Bedford North Lawrence the majority of the time in the first, second, third, fourth quarter. Seymour has to be dominant, especially on the ground, work that clock, move the chains, wear out the defensive line.
And it's Aaron Holt who will bring it out to begin the Friday Night Lights football. Dragged down right at the 20-yard line. So out comes the offense and Max Coates. Through the first 3 games, a 54% completion percentage, 250 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 50 rushing yards, a bit of a dual threat quarterback. The big blemish on his statistical side of things, 4 interceptions in the first 3 games.
A lot of that is moving out of the pocket, extending plays, trying to do it all in one play. So it's a matter of just having a little more patience. You can still get out of that pocket.
It's Milliken in motion. They hand it off to Hawkins, who fights for a couple yards. And before we started talking about the game, Charlie, you said one of your keys to the game for Seymour is no turnovers.
Yes, that will kill you, because you're 0-4. You need every yard, every first down you can get. The second you turn the ball over, you lose so much momentum. For a team searching for their first win of the season, you have to play safe football. You cannot fumble the ball. You have to be safe throwing the football.
Get on the ground, and Hawkins hit immediately. That BNL defensive line proving a little bit tough early on in this game.
Yeah, and Hawkins ran right into his blocker, the fullback, number 46. So like you said, Graham, the defensive line was right there waiting for him. Not a lot of space regardless.
That defense, a big point of emphasis for BNL. Had 18 tackles for loss against New Albany last weekend in the Stars' 38-3 win. Also 5 sacks and 2 interceptions. Third and 10. Coates scrambling, escapes a tackle but stepped out of bounds. And a pretty slow first drive for the Owls. They're probably going to have to punt this away.
Yeah, Maddox Wallace, the running back, he started out in the flat, started to go vertical towards the first down marker. Then he tripped and fell, and that completely threw off Max Coates. He was looking for him as he was running towards the sideline. Wallace ends up falling, and Coates has no choice but to take the sack.
And Aaron Holt, who received the opening kick, going to try to punt things away. Driven Axum back to receive the punt.
Great kick.
Very nice kick. And a friendly Seymour roll. That's Cooper Smith who picks it on up. So BNL will get its first offensive drive, led by Dason Kirby, 6'1", 176-pound senior quarterback, 60% completion percentage, nearly 1,500 yards in the air. You mentioned how strong this team is through the air. It's about 360 yards per game, 13 touchdowns, only 3 picks to go along with it. This guy is a stud.
Yes, he is. They love to throw the football. I'm excited to see what Bedford has in store. They just got to stop with their defense. It was the defensive line forcing a 3-and-out, a good punt from Seymour, but Bedford already in a good situation right now. And it looks like getting moved back.
Now getting backed up a bit. So not as strong a field position, but still pretty good for the Stars. And it was Driven Axum who was back to return that punt. Didn't end up going for it, but he's another really big offensive threat to keep an eye on. Very, very quick, good hands, so already 220 receiving yards. Here's Jaden Gilbert. He's got some room. Gilbert gets the first down and more. Gilbert finally pushed out of bounds by Alex Milliken.
Well, he averages about 100 receiving yards per game. There's about maybe 50-yard gain on that first reception. Just already a chunk play. And that throw was just in the flat. That wasn't a deep ball. That wasn't a deep cross or nothing. That was just a dump off in the flat, and the playmaker does the rest, gets past the secondary.
And I'll tell you what, that's a quick way to increase your quarterback's confidence as well. A quick and easy throw for Dason Kirby to begin things. See how this Seymour defense can lock it down.
Blazing speed.
This time on the ground. Again, it's Gilbert, and Gilbert finds room. 2 plays, touchdown BNL.
I mean, it could have been two-hand touch, and I still think he would have scored. I don't know if anyone laid a finger on him. Just shot right through the gap. Great work by the offensive line. Here's that replay. I mean, he just shoots through the defensive line, up through the linebackers, and right between the 2 safeties. That was just 2 plays.
And out comes Beeson to try to make it 7. And he makes it. Quick start for BNL's offense. We'll be right back as Seymour looks to strike back on IndianaSRN.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way.
Welcome back to Bullitt Stadium. Bedford North Lawrence charging down the field on its first offensive drive. 2 plays, about 70 yards, and a touchdown for Jaden Gilbert, 5'11" junior. And now Seymour going to have to strike back.
And Jaden Gilbert, what I saw was the speed. I mean, he accelerated so fast. Just 2 plays for this offense that averages over 30 points per game.
This one coming to Milliken. And he's going to try to bring it back for Seymour. Swallowed up around the 20 by Luke Morris. And again, tough starting field position for Seymour.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a good kickoff, maybe get up to around the 40-yard line. But once again, I mean, it's you look at all units of Bedford, special teams, the defensive line, obviously the wide receiver, but the special teams unit doing a good job keeping them short of the 25 in these last 2 kickoffs. They're just disciplined already in every part of this football game just a few minutes in.
Handoff on the sweep. Milliken swallowed, and that's a loss of 2. Seymour had trouble getting any positive yardage on its first drive. 4 plays and a punt.
Yeah, Seymour, they're trying to pick up on those 1st and 10. They just want 4 or 5 yards just to make it an easier situation. But once again, Graham, it's this defensive line. They expect a run. They know a run is coming, and they're making this offensive line really work.
Coates yet to throw a pass for Seymour. As the pressure comes, another handoff. Or no, they fake it, and they've got a man on the far side. Jackson Fox just can't break a tackle. Jackson Jones saves a touchdown for BNL.
A beautifully executed play-action pass, Graham, because the linebackers, the defensive line, they are excelling out on a run up the middle. That's all they've seen so far this game. A great executed play-action pass. You find your tight end right over the middle, and he extends the play as well. He gets past midfield, picks up yards after the catch. That is what you need.
I'll tell you what, they had me fooled.
Yes.
I was following the running back. A great RPO. This time it is handed off, and Trayshawn Hawkins hit. Noah Strasser, big linebacker.
He swallowed him up immediately. Yeah, this game's going to be a real big test for Seymour's offensive line. Obviously, Seymour, the Owls, they love to run the football. That's really kind of been their staple through these first few weeks. And against a team like Bedford, you need your offensive line to create gaps. You need holes for guys like Trayshawn Hawkins to get loose. A big ask for the O-line of Seymour today.
Coates pulls back the handoff, has a gap, and gets right back to that original line of scrimmage. Man, he's doing such a good job of waiting to the last second to pull it.
Yeah, he drew that out as long as he could before they both got tackled. Finally pulls it loose. The defensive end's already committed to the running back, and there's a nice 6-7 yard pickup.
This is the second 3rd and 10 already for Seymour. The first was all the way back on their own 20-yard line. This time in BNL territory. Max Coates has thrown the ball once, and it turned into about a 32-yard completion. Play action. Coates chased by Dalton. Coates breaks a tackle, stays in bounds. And the spot is just short by about 2 yards.
Luke Morris, the corner, number 5 for Bedford. I mean, he played a really good possession on that. He was guarding the outside receiver, and Coates ended up having to run on his own, but great coverage in the secondary.
And a penalty on BNL turns into a bit of fortunate break for Seymour. It's a fresh set of downs. Sometimes that is all you need, though, is a little bit of a lucky break.
Yep.
Turn into some positive yardage. So the drive stays alive. 5 plays for Seymour. Moved about 45 yards. Hawkins gets the handoff, tries to cut back. Another flag comes scorching in.
Yeah, that referee looked awfully sure about that penalty. He spiked that on the turf. We'll see what the call is. Yeah.
And so after the fortunate penalty for Seymour advancing him, They're going to be sent right back a couple yards. All the way back to that original 3rd and 10 line of scrimmage at the 45 of BNL.
Yeah, and if you're Seymour, you need one more first down. You need to at least get close to that red zone, be in field goal range. But to feel good about yourself, line of scrimmage every play, I mean, they obviously, Seymour understands what he's capable of, but there's just no real crease for him, no real opening for him to get anywhere. And you combine that with a couple of holding penalties, it just makes it a lot tougher on your star running back.
This Stars defensive line is big and fast, making things really tough right now for the Seymour offense.
Lining up in shotgun.
3-man rush. Coates with a bit
of
time. And it's just dropped. Referees say no. It was questionable for a second what that call would be. From our angle, pretty clear that Luke Morris just didn't hold on to the ball.
And Coates, that's what we said right when the game started. You mentioned his 4 interceptions. That's him just trying to extend plays, throwing the football when a play's not really there. And it's tough. You got guys chasing you. You need to make some sort of throw, but that could have been an easy interception for Luke Norris.
The 7th play of the drive, nearly the last. Seymour lives to see an 8th play. 3-man rush again. Coates just dumps it underneath to Hawkins. He pushes forward, but still can't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. 4th and long.
This is a tough call. It's probably 4th and about 11, 12, 13, and it looks like the punt team's coming out. Yeah, Graham, I think just too far out to go for this here.
It's Aaron Holt, the punter. Seymour has been known to play a couple of these trick plays, try to get some yardage.
That'd be exciting.
4th and 13, it'd have to be quite the play. And a flag flies immediately. That's going to send Seymour back even more.
It's another thing for a team like Seymour when you're facing a really talented team. It's those unforced errors that really kill you. It not only kills where you are on the field, but just your confidence throughout a game where every play is so huge on the offensive side of the ball. And when you have false starts, you have holding calls, it just kind of deflates your team little by little. But this one, at least on a punt,
Holt really took his time with that one. And a good punt, tumbling down to the goal line.
wow.
And it gets all the way down. Aaron Holt wanted to fake it, wanted to go for positive yardage, but instead pins BNL inside its own 1-yard line.
Well, we've seen 2 great punts from him. The one in the first drive, aired it out at least 50 yards, got a good bounce near the sideline. This one, he pins him. That's inside the 1-yard line.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors throughout Indiana. Nothing runs like a deer. Give us a call today at 317-849-0810. BNL needed just 2 plays to go about 70 yards on its first drive. Bit longer to go this time. Screen play, far side. And Chaston wrapped up. That time, Seymour did a really good job reading that play and getting there.
Yeah, Seymour right now, their defense can make a huge stand. It is so hard to go 99 yards down the field and score. This is a battle in the trenches. That was about, 3-yard gain there. But this defensive line can really potentially make a statement here.
Handoff. And not much room.
Yeah, just about a yard, I think.
So
good work.
Seymour defense showing a bit of toughness, fighting right back.
Yeah, they understand. Their offense had a good drive. They had about 9 plays, moved the chains a couple times, got near the red zone, didn't execute, and I think that defense wants to pick up here.
This is a BNL team that had 210 rushing yards last week against New Albany. This time they go to the air, near side. Picked off! Seymour takes over. Alex Milliken with the interception.
My goodness. I mean, that's just a go ball on the near sideline. Kirby didn't like any other route. He just puts it up for a 50-50 ball, and the defense comes up with it. Milliken. That's a huge play. You get your offense the ball on the opposite 30-yard line. That is a huge play if you're trying to win this football game. It's turnovers like that.
That the 4th interception of the season for Dason Kirby. Handoff. And not much room again for Seymour on the ground. And 2 very different drives for BNL. 2 plays, about 70 yards and a touchdown. The first time that offense was on the field. Second time, just 6 yards and then a pick from Alex Milliken. Milliken back out there on the field, plays both sides of the ball. Through the first 3 games, 7 receptions, 63 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. One of Coates' favorite targets. Coates looking to him this time, and Milliken just can't get it. Nice defense from Luke Morris.
Oh, I'd like to see Coates just lead Milliken just 3 or 4 yards further down the field, closer to the end zone. Still a good ball, but better defense from the secondary. That could have been a touchdown if Coach just leads it a little bit more.
Milliken had him beat.
Yeah, he did. He had a step or 2 on him. A good route, though, and a good sign.
Another 3rd down and 10.
And this is 4th down territory.
Screenplay. A little bit of room to run. And Jackson Fox just couldn't spin out of that tackle.
And about a 3-yard gain, and it looks like the offense is lingering on the field. Yeah, I think they're going to go for this. I think that's the right decision. You have to go out and take it against a team like Bedford, North Lawrence. You can't stay in this game trying long field goals. So here we go.
4th and 7. The Owls looking for some early fireworks. Coates, pump fake. Coates, scanning, throwing, and it's low. Intended for Trayshawn Hawkins, but behind him.
Man, tough break. Milliken gets that interception. You have your offense on the 30-yard line, ready to score, and it just doesn't work out. Gets to a 4th and 7. It's a broken play. Coach trying to extend it with his legs, and just nobody's open. But credit the defense of Bedford for staying strong after your offense gives up a turnover.
That offense right back out onto the field. Quick out route, Jaden Gilbert, the touchdown getter.
Jaden Gilbert just stiff-armed his way to the sideline, making his presence known, if he didn't already. He gave Nehemiah Jones a bit of a love tap with that stiff arm on his way to the sideline.
You mentioned not too long ago, Charlie, about how Seymour are going to have to score some points to keep up with BNL.
Yeah.
BNL has scored 139 points through 4 games, most since 2018 for this team when they scored 151 on the ground, falling towards the pylon but not quite getting the first down.
And still a 3rd down situation.
That was Brody Horton. You're one of your players
Yes.
to watch for BNL.
Should have went with Jaden Gilbert. Yeah, this could be just about anything. This could be an inside zone run up the middle. This could be a play in the flat. Hard to tell.
Pressure comes from Seymour. Over the middle, overthrowing Gilbert.
It looked like Kirby and Gilbert had a miscommunication on that route. Gilbert was slanting across the middle, more like a post route, but Kirby led him as if it were a go route, just down the sideline. So, wonder if Gilbert and Kirby just a miscommunication on what the play was, what the route was in that spot. But Seymour's defense, they will take a 3-and-out.
That defense really stepping it up.
Yeah.
After that first drive.
Back-to-back 3-and-outs now.
And the punt is away. That's Aaron Holt finding space on the far side. Holt drops the football right into a pile of players. No reaction from BNL. It stays with Seymour.
Ooh. A great return, aggressive, shooting up the gut, taking contact, getting it right past midfield. And this is what you love to see. Obviously, Graham, a missed opportunity after the interception from Seymour's offense, but their defense, a turnover and then a 3-and-out, and a good punt return puts them across midfield. This offense just has to find a way for another chunk play here. They're working on it, though. They're getting there.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Betty Insurance, a company which understands your industry and what's on the line for you. Call Lance at 812-522-5640. Pitch to Hawkins. Has a couple blockers. It's only a gain of about 5, but maybe the best run in this early game for Seymour.
Yep, that is, I would be inclined to agree. 5-yard pickup, that's all you're hoping for. That's the goal for Seymour. When they have these outside runs, they just want 5 yards, just more breathing room, more opportunity for your head coach to have more freedom on which play to call.
And the Owls going to let the clock expire in this first quarter. It's a 7-0 lead for BNL, but the Owls starting to find a bit of momentum. We'll be right back on IndianaSRN.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate.
Seymour, but the Owls starting with really good field position. A handoff for Milliken on the jet sweep. A couple blockers. Milliken gets through for a first down. Brought down by Jarrett Gilbert. Saving, again, another really, really big play.
So we're seeing this offense, Graham, of Seymour just getting a little more comfortable. Drive by drive, they're starting to find their rhythm, finding their flow. They're making the right blocks. They're breaking tackles. And I think a lot of that helps when the offense of Seymour is watching their defense pick a ball off, get a 3-and-out. I think that also helps.
The deepest that Seymour has been in BNL territory in this young game. Trying to sneak into the red zone. Handoff. Hawkins has a hole. Hawkins breaks a tackle and waltzes into the end zone for 6. Trayshawn Hawkins with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Gets Seymour back within 1.
That was special. Right after an end around gets you about 10, 15 yards. Hawkins on the next play just shoots it right up the middle. Makes one defender miss. And he was wide open on his way to the end zone. That a beautiful chunk play, and that's why you set that play up in that first quarter. You know, you're stuffed at the line of scrimmage. You're stuffed again and again, but then you keep working. Your offensive line does a great job, and a great hole for Hawkins.
Here's Jackson Fox trying to tie up the game. Low snap. Fox able to put it through. Tie things up at 7. 3 plays, 48 yards for Seymour to tie this ball game up early at 7 apiece. We'd like to take this time to thank a couple more sponsors. for tonight's game. Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374 represents highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication across Indiana. Whether it's a new build, upgrade, or facility maintenance, you can count on Local 374 to get the job done right the first time. And Piper Logistics. For more than 2 decades, the seasoned professionals at Piper Logistics have been trusted partners for inventory management, warehouse fulfillment, and transportation needs. Ride with us. Call today at 317-396-1023. 7-7 ball game. Charlie, defense wins championships.
That's
it
right.
felt like the defense really fueled the offense there.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. They got that interception. Seymour did. Milliken got it. And then the offense stalled once again. They couldn't get the first down. They didn't score. They punt the ball away. The defense gets another stop. And that stop, that 3-and-out from Seymour's defense, I think the offense picked up on that and said, you know what, hey, we can compete with these guys. And a 3-play drive, and Trayshawn Hawkins finishes the job about a 30-yard touchdown.
Jackson Fox's kickoff a little short. And the knee goes down for driving Axum.
Good kick. We've seen great special teams work from Seymour. I do know that. The punt inside the 1. Another nifty little kickoff there, forcing the return team to make kind of an awkward play, unsure how to play that football. So good job from Seymour special teams as well. It's also been a big part of this.
So the offense comes back out for BNL. It was a really quick first touchdown for the Stars. 2 plays, about 70 yards. And they were both made by wide receiver Jaden Gilbert.
Yes.
Handoff. Grady Dalton gets swallowed. And that's what Seymour's defense has been able to do a little bit more of, shut down that run game.
Yeah, that first drive, Graham, you mentioned it. Just 2 plays, and Jaden Gilbert went about 60 yards to score, but you know, you flip a couple drives later, this defense, they are really picking it up. You can just see they're flying to the football, especially at the line of scrimmage.
Jason Kirby completed his first 3 passes, then threw an INT. He goes back to the air here, flushed out of the pocket. Throws on the run, nearly picked off again. Intended for Malachi Goodman. That was Aaron Holt who got his hand in there.
Yeah, Aaron Holt, great job. He reads the quarterback's eyes of Jason Kirby. He knows he wants to cross the body, throw it over the middle. He sticks his hand out there, turns into a tip drill. And how about this defense? It's been very bend, don't break. But right now, Seymour's, they're starting to punch Bedford around a little bit right now.
And you can see there's a lot of juice over there on that sideline as this team looks for its first win of the 2025 season.
In that student section.
Empty backfield for Kirby. Throws quickly, has a man, and a beautiful tackle on the far side. Made by Nehemiah Jones.
Yeah, and he leads the team in tackles per game, right about 8 of them per game, just an open field. It's just you and the receiver. Someone's got to make a play. It turns out to be Jones, and he keeps his defense right where they want, about a 4th and 1. But a great open field tackle, a one-on-one. You love those type of plays from your defensive backs. But here we go. The offense still out. Let's see it.
We saw Seymour go for a 4th down conversion in the first quarter. Now BNL going for one of their own. Handoff, and it's Gilbert getting around the edge. And he's knocked out of play. Well, you need that big 1 yard. Who else would you go to?
Yeah, right. But I still love that Seymour is forcing Bedford into a 4th down situation in their own territory. They're not making it easy at all. I mean, that's a 4th and 1. You're at your own 30-yard line. I mean, that's a tense situation. And even though Gilbert picks up about 8 yards, that's a good effort forcing a 4th down.
Another handoff. Very little room. Brody Sawyer making the tackle for Seymour.
Yeah. right at the line of scrimmage. Called out not quite a tackle for loss, but met by about 3 Owls right at this line of scrimmage. Seymour's really starting to limit the chunk plays. And it starts right in the trenches, right at the defensive line.
Big Brody Horton, the back for BNL. They don't give it to him. Far side, catch made. But the Owls right there to lay the boom.
Yeah, Horton laid a good block down on that shallow blitz. Just kind of a chip block allowed Kirby to have enough time to throw that 6-yard route, but once again, a good one-on-one tackle from Seymour. That time, Alex Milliken.
It was Cam Gates making the reception, making it 3rd and manageable for BNL. To the air.
Plenty of time.
Kirby going through those progressions. Off the hands of Brody Horton. He turned to run a little bit too early.
Well, first of all, Dason Kirby made a great throw. He had plenty of time. Offensive line bought Kirby plenty of time, and you said it. He went through his progressions, found the right route, and that was a throw right at the numbers, right in the chest. Just a drop from Brody Horton. And a good break from Seymour's defense.
Aaron Holt back to receive the kickoff, coming from the punt. Gates held on to it well long. And that's really strong starting position for Seymour.
Yeah, I don't know why he held on to that football for so long. Just punt the ball. And it might be something a coach wants him to do. You know, you want your guys to get down the field and down the ball inside the red zone, but I just think he could have kicked that ball a little sooner.
The past 3 possessions for BNL, interception, punt. Defense of Seymour showing up and showing out after that quick touchdown to begin the game for the Stars.
Yeah, 2-play drive. Since then, nothing.
Fake the handoff, pressure on Coates, and a nice grab from Jackson Fox.
He's made 2 really impressive catches now. That time, Fox, he just goes up, high points that football, strong hands, brings it down safely. Credit to Max Coates. He knew that route. He knew that ball had to be high in the air for Fox to go up and get it. That wasn't a type of throw where you're going to catch that in the chest. You have to go up and grab that football. Really good throw, really good catch. This offense is moving.
Fox, a good guy to throw that high ball to, standing 6'3". Pressure comes. Hawkins puts his head down and falls across the line to gain. First down for Seymour.
Yeah, and Hawkins, he just moves the chains. He's just a bowling ball, just shoots through the middle, picks up a strong, hard-fought 4 yards and moves the chains. And now the crowd's starting to pick up a little bit. This could be a huge drive for Seymour's offense. This could stamp them in their confidence the rest of the way if they can find a way to the end zone.
Another handoff for Hawkins. Fights his way to about a yard.
I mean, he does everything he can to pick up yards. He tried to bounce it to the outside. Good play defensively from Bedford, North Lawrence on that.
We mentioned at the very beginning of the game that this is the Owls' first 0-4 start since 2015. Seymour then went on to win 5 of its next 7, including 2 sectional wins. The Owls have been in this position before, and they found ways to get out of it, trying to do so on this drive. Hawkins has a hole. Hawkins makes a couple men miss, gets the first down and a couple more.
Woo! He was met a yard short of the line of scrimmage. He just spins off of him. Keeps battling and battling. Add that to a Trayshawn Hawkins highlight reel. He made about 4 defenders miss. You're not going to see a more hard-fought 11-yard pickup than that.
Hawkins, 100-plus yard game through his first 3. That was against Columbus East. 114 yards. He is a workhorse. This time RPO. A great throw from Coates as he got hit. And Jackson Fox fights for about 2.
Max Coates, you see him switch the arm angle there, kind of sidearm it? I mean, he had a defensive end right in his grill. He had to find a way to get that football out. Once again, Jackson Fox, 3 catches, all of them been productive.
Looked a little Mahomey.
Don't start.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Don't start.
I'm sorry, Charlie, I'm sorry. Coates, we did mention, though, that he's shown that once he gets comfortable, once he gets warmed up, he can make some great throws like that. And all of a sudden, he shows off that athleticism. 6'3", 180-pound junior, working into his junior season.
Oh.
Runner gets through, the ball comes out. Hawkins falls on it. Man, Noah Strausser just found a gap.
Max Coates didn't have time to even hand the ball off. He was tackled so quickly. It looked like a free rusher. No one blocked Strauss.
So 2nd and 8 turns into 3rd and 18.
It's not going to be easy. But I really applaud Trayshawn Hawkins for what he's done in this drive. He's kept his team alive.
Hawkins in the backfield. Coates on the move. Looking downfield, has a man just off the hands of his tall tight end, Jackson Fox.
Yeah, I just think Coates saw that play like a split second too late. The free safety was able to move to his left, make, at least for Fox, he had to hear footsteps at the end of that. Still not an easy throw, not an easy catch, but it was doable.
So the punt team out for Seymour. It's Aaron Holt again.
He's been really good.
Last time that he was out to punt, pinned BNL inside its own 1-yard line.
Favorable spot on the football field as well.
And a timeout called for Seymour as that play clock was winding down. So they have to burn a timeout. Gives us the chance to thank Dynamark Graphics Group. Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark builds strong relationships through exceptional service. Call us today at 317-328-2555. And Riskwork. We make people feel safe. We protect your business. You live safe, and we've got it covered. Call Riskwork today at 317-379-6755.
Yeah, I mean, before the game, Graham, what did we talk about? We talked about, for Seymour, don't turn the ball over. Be safe with the football. And we also asked of Seymour to have success passing the football. Both of those things they have done. Jackson Fox, most likely sitting around 50 yards receiving. He's made some really good catches. Max Coates has made some good throws. So they've been sticking to our keys to the game. And defensively, they've looked better and better as well.
Comes down to those little mistakes, the penalties on a couple drives, and then just not blocking, picking up that one guy. Punt is away.
Looks like a good one.
Driven Axum is going to take this one. And he's brought down right around the 11-yard line. Again, special teams proving to be strong for Seymour.
I mean, Aaron Holt on that punt, he waits to kick until his unit can move down the field and make a play on the returner, and then he just keeps that in the air forever. I mean, right when the returner catches that football, he's met by 2 guys in about a second. And still well deep in their own territory is Bedford.
Last time BNL started deep in its own territory, turned into an interception for Alex Milliken. On the ground, Horton Pulled down after a gain of about 2.
And that's the punter making the tackle. That time the tailback just bouncing to the outside, trying to pick up a few extra yards. Good first down play.
Haven't seen Jason Kirby, the quarterback, really go to any of those quick throws to kind of get him comfortable again. That's how the first drive started. But since we haven't seen many screen passes.
You can see a potential screen right here. Nope.
They are going to the air, though. Kirby flushed out.
Oh, he's got to get rid of it.
Does get rid of it, and he's got his man, Malachi Goodman. A foot race, cutting back to the center of the field, and he waltzes into the end zone.
Well, how about that for a chunk play? Malachi Goodman on that play, well, he just gets behind the defense, and that's the number one thing that cannot happen. Your corners, your safeties, you have to be in front of the receiver at all times, especially deep in the secondary. Goodman just got lost. He ran across the middle of the field, got behind the strong safety, and a great throw from Kirby right to the chest, and the foot race is the rest of that story. Just very impressive. Is that an 85-yard touchdown?
Parker Beeson makes it 14 points, right around that 80-yard mark. Yeah, really strong play from Dason Kirby, who looked like he was about dead to rights, flushed out of the pocket, but still made it work. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Laborers International Union of North America. We're the Build America Union, 500,000 strong, fighting for better wages and benefits, safer job sites, and greater opportunities. We are LIUNA. Charlie, it felt like Seymour had all the momentum in the world just a couple of moments ago. Another big explosive play for the Stars turns that around. Those big plays, those are the ones that have been the game.
It's been as a fly falls on me. It's been the chunk plays for Bedford. They had Gilbert in that opening drive, the 2-play touchdown, and then that time the 85-yard touchdown to Malachi Goodman. I think that's where you really focus at halftime. If you're Seymour, you got to understand, look, we cannot give up these chunk plays. We're doing so good when we don't allow long plays to happen. When we get them in these 3rd and 4, these 4th and 1s, we can be so dominant, but the secondary needs to freshen up at halftime. But once again, Graham, you talked about the momentum from Seymour. How about that response from Dason Kirby? Climbing the pocket, a great throw. Kind of settles his offense back down.
Kirby came into the game with about 1,500 passing yards, 60% completion percentage. As Alex Milliken's going to bring this from his own 5-yard line. Milliken brought down, but a flag flies.
Graham, you said it. It's those unforced errors that you don't want to have. We'll see what the call is, though. Yeah.
That's going to send Seymour back even further into its own territory. And so now it feels like even more than these past couple drives, that rushing game going to need to be strong for the Owls, which it has been. Trayshawn Hawkins has really gotten going.
Yes, he has. He broke loose for that 30-yard touchdown. We've seen him bounce off of bodies, break. He's probably broken 6 tackles already, maybe even more than that, but he's just rolls off defenders, continues to fight for extra yards, and he's been fun to watch in this first half.
Handoff for Hawkins, and he's met in the backfield. Dax Short
Yep.
getting back there.
Just kind of the edge rusher. And good job by the interior D-line forcing Hawkins to move to his left, and right there just immediately met by Short. No chance Hawkins of breaking that tackle.
Seymour in a bit of a tricky spot. Has 2 timeouts, 2 minutes, 40 seconds, but A quick 3-and-out here could give BNL the ball right back and a chance to double dip. They get the ball out of the halftime break.
If Bedford gets a stop on a run, I would maybe call a timeout.
The handed again. Hawkins pushes forward for a few yards after initial contact, right around that initial line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like a timeout is called by Bedford.
And so now the Stars trying to save a bit of that clock too.
Yep. See, this is tough. It's 3rd and 11. You're on your own 9-yard line. Do you feel comfortable passing here?
Feels like if Seymour can confidently draw something up for Jackson Fox, 6'3", that would be the option. But you also want to make sure that you get a couple more yards for that punt.
I don't want to see just another run up the middle, and then it's still 4th and longs. Bedford will still have 2 timeouts and 2 minutes to work with, probably at midfield or closer. I think you have to be aggressive on this 3rd and 11.
One of the best runs that we've seen from Trayshawn Hawkins in this ball game was a little pitch out to the right. He got some blockers in front of him, really turned it downhill.
With Bedford, they've had success with chunk plays. I don't think you want to put the ball in their hands one more time.
Hawkins lining up at the line of scrimmage. Now in motion. They give it to him, and a fumble right at the 1-yard line. And bad goes to worse for Seymour. Just a bit of a miscommunication.
Play just took way too long to develop. I mean, you're already backed up. You don't want to have a play where there's so many different moving pieces. You know, you're lateraling, everyone's moving opposite directions. I just think that play was a little too confusing for that situation. And look, you're now at your own 1-yard line.
BNL with another timeout, saving lots of clock.
And this is going to have to be a boot. I think you'd call it a win if you can keep Bedford right at midfield with 2 minutes left and 1 timeout. But that's still plenty of time for Dason Kirby and Jaden Gilbert to maybe score 1 more touchdown.
Aaron Holt's longest punt of the season so far, about 48 yards. So with a friendly bounce, potential to get this right around midfield. But even so, even if he's able to, tall task for that defense to hold strong. BNL will get the ball out of the halftime break, so very imperative for Seymour to put up a stop.
He's got to punt this. He's got to take 1 step and kick it.
He gets a pretty good punt off. A friendly bounce.
Okay.
It just crosses the 45. So not as far as it could have been, but all things considered, not bad.
Yeah, that's a win. First of all, you get the punt off cleanly. It's not tipped, it's not blocked, and you don't allow a return. It bounces right at about that 35-yard line and rolls for another 10, so no chance for a punt return to pick up 20 yards or so. So well done from the special teams unit once again, but this is just a typical 2-minute drill before halftime for Bedford and their offense. They can really open up their playbook in this situation.
Both times that BNL has scored in this ball game, it's only taken 2 plays.
Yeah.
Kirby has his man for a first down. Parker Kern.
A 12-yard gain.
And this is when the Stars have really been at their best. They can move fast, make it difficult for Seymour to get set. And the Stars still have a timeout.
This is big for this Seymour defense. They need to stop to stay in this ball game.
Kirby launching for Kern again, just off his hands. Charlie Bruce in coverage for the Owls.
What a throw from Kirby. He perfectly led the receiver. What a good ball. Just a drop. I mean, that ball should have been caught. I mean, he had about 2 steps on the defensive back. Well executed play, though. I mean, if you're Bedford, you're happy with that play call.
2nd and 10. The Stars have shown that they're well capable of picking up those 10 yards at any given moment. Kirby on the move. Fires. And off the hands again. This time Malachi Goodman couldn't make the catch.
Oh my goodness. 2 straight passes that would have been walk-in touchdowns that were drops. Oh, I feel bad for Dason Kirby. He's got to be upset with his receivers after those 2 plays. But, I mean, I'm looking at Seymour's secondary. They're just letting these receivers get 3 steps behind them. I mean, they're looking at the quarterback while Malachi Goodman's streaking down the field right behind him. And by the time he looks back at the receiver, the ball's in his hands already.
Third and 10 and a jump. This is going to push the Stars back even further.
So I think Seymour might go into halftime with kind of a lucky break on this last drive, but Bedford's offense, they are awfully explosive. They've had so many opportunities to make a chunk play like in this drive. They've shown they can do it.
And B&L hinting that they're still going to go for all of these 15 yards, bringing Brody Horton, the running back, off the field and driven Axum on.
Yeah.
Empty backfield set for Dason Kirby. 4-man rush. Out of the hands immediately. Parker Kern makes a man miss. Wrapped up right around the 28-yard line. Clock going, no move yet to bring the offense off.
Be like nearly a 45-yard field goal. And it looks like the offense is staying on. I mean, it's 4th and manageable.
Dason Kirby getting some instructions from his sideline.
Maybe try to jump the defense off sides here.
They've only got 8 seconds to get a snap off. Still have a timeout.
They got to call it.
4, 3, 2, 1. And there's the timeout for BNL. So some more time to talk it over, but
I think you go for this here. You know you get the ball back after halftime. You already know the trust you have in your offense to convert plays like this. And do you really trust around a 45-yard field goal? I mean, that's a big ask. I think the right call is to keep the offense out here.
And say BNL doesn't get the first down or the touchdown.
I see a kicker warming up.
Seymour's offense has struggled through the air as there's the kicker warming up. You're right, Parker Beeson. They're bringing that kicking unit out.
Well, this will be exciting.
Beeson 1 for 1 in field goal attempts this season. That was 27 yards in BNL's last game against New Albany. Looking like this would be about a 46-yarder.
Yeah.
Low snap, kick is off, and wide left.
Okay.
Beeson had the distance. Just a bit of a low snap. Couldn't quite get that direction, and out comes the Seymour offense.
With 2 timeouts. So Seymour's defense, they don't allow points there, but some glaring holes in the secondary. I mean, obviously you saw those 2 drop balls that could have been touchdowns. But still, you look at the scoreboard, you're only down 1 score. And a chance here with under a minute, 2 timeouts, to be aggressive. Oh, they're kneeling. I don't hate that decision.
And he hasn't kneeled quite yet. No one really eager to go rushing for that football. The Owls just happy with where they're at. Not going to try to risk it. A couple incomplete passes, and all of a sudden they'd have to punt it back to BNL.
Right.
And both teams going to come off the field, so that's going to do it for the first half of action. 14-7 lead for BNL going into the break. It was a really hot start for the Stars. 2 plays to go about 70 yards and get a touchdown. But then after that, Seymour really settled into the game, looked like a totally different team on both sides of the ball.
They did, and Graham, after that first drive, it took 2 plays. Jaden Gilbert, 30-yard rush, 60-yard catch, and it looked like this thing was over before it started. But then, you're right, you saw Seymour and especially their defense really start to settle in. They've given up 2 bad chunk plays, but when it's mattered most, they've gotten stops and kept their offense in the game. And so I have a lot of respect for Seymour and their defense. The turnover, the special teams unit has done a great job. I would just like to see Seymour and this defense, especially their secondary, lock it down a little bit more. I think that's what they really need to work on.
And for the offense, Max Coates started to get going a little bit there as well towards the end of the first half. He found a bit of a groove, but again, your key to the game, one of your keys to the game for Seymour coming into it was that the offense needed to get going because of his arm. He needed to guide people through the air. That's going to have to be really strong again in the second half.
And he had a miss when he was rolling out to his right. He had Jackson Fox kind of streaking towards the end zone, and it looked like he just saw that play a little too late, but it's going to be plays like that. It's going to be Max Coates extending plays, rolling out, having to make the right throw in the right situation. And he's looked confident today. Obviously, Trayshawn Hawkins, he has been the workhorse at the running back position for Seymour. He's done a lot of the dirty work. He's kept his team in it on second and manageable situations. So Seymour most definitely in this game, but Graham, it comes down to the defense for the Owls.
The Owls going to try to come back a little bit to start out that second half, but BNL is going to begin with the football. Seymour's marching band out on the field. That means it's time for us to take a quick break, about 14 minutes before second half of action here on Indiana SRN.
This is your IHSAA.
High school sports offer the best opportunities to represent your community and yourself.
Playing alongside your friends and in front of your family makes it that much more important, no matter the circumstances or the setting.
Honor your teammates, fans, and opponents with your best effort.
Make sure those around you are doing the same.
Be supportive and aware of your surroundings.
Enjoy every minute of practice, preparation, and playing.
Your conduct, actions, and character are a reflection of your sportsmanship values.
Do not allow winning and losing to prevent you from respecting your opponent,
respecting the game, and representing your community.
With good sportsmanship, winning takes care of itself.
You may not remember the game or the final score,
but you will remember your teammates and your opponents.
Be remembered for being a good sport.
Sportsmanship makes high school sports so very different from any other level of sport.
Being a good sport means always respecting your opponent by playing hard, respecting the game by honoring the rules, and respecting yourself by giving your best effort at all times.
That is true sportsmanship.
Be remembered for exhibiting the qualities of a winner and display good sportsmanship. This message is brought to you by the IHSAA Student Advisory Committee.
Big play here for Mount Vernon. Hurdle looking right, now over the middle, fires, and it's in there for a touchdown. What a throw. Boy, what a stick, huh? Side out, back to the middle, and guess what? You want a point on the other side, you go to Taylor Lewis.
Here's Freeman. Has an opening shot. Score!
Stafford around a screen. Skip pass. Mays with 3. Mays drive. Floater up and in at the horn.
Hand off and nice hole over the near side. 40, 35, 30. Block to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown. And that's a big one right there. And finally, somebody gets on the board.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
A great lawn starts with the right equipment. At Reynolds Farm Equipment, we're here to help you make mowing easier and more enjoyable. From zero turns to lawn tractors, John Deere mowers give you the power, precision, and comfort to get the job done right. Plus, with expert service and support from Reynolds, you can spend less time worrying about your mower and more time enjoying the results. Reynolds Farm Equipment, your local John Deere dealer since 1955.
Welcome back to Bullitt Stadium on the campus of Seymour High School. The Owls taking on the Bedford North Lawrence Stars, just about coming back from the halftime break. Graham Nash and Charlie Harris with you here in the Seymour press box. Charlie, it was an interesting first half, a very hot start for BNL, but then Seymour settled in and it was a totally different game.
Yep, the defense of Seymour, really the defensive linemen, the middle linebackers, they were flying to the football. They did not allow anything on the ground. They stifled a lot up front, but then once again, Graham, we've talked about it, for Seymour, it's been the secondary that's been lacking. They've allowed those chunk plays. They've allowed passes that would have been touchdowns that were dropped by receivers of Bedford. So I think at halftime that has got to be the conversation in that locker room is, hey, when we come out in this second half, we're only down one score. Obviously, Bedford gets the ball to open this third quarter, but it's got to be a conversation with the secondary saying, hey, we have to be in front of these receivers. They're getting behind us way too often. Kirby's throwing great balls down the field. We have to hone in on that part. Because up front, defensively for Seymour, they've been doing a really good job. But that's what needs improvement for Seymour's defense is that secondary. And for Bedford, they've really played a good football game all around. A couple of slip-ups with receivers dropping passes, but I've liked what they've brought to the table today. Just continue to limit the passing of Max Coates today.
Like you said, B&L going to start with the ball to begin this second half. Had a chance to double up there, score late, but a couple drops. You also talked about those really cost them. So we'll see what Dason Kirby and crew can do. Haven't said the name Brody Horton too much in that first half. Their star running back, he's been held pretty quiet.
Yeah, and this is the story of Bedford. They love to pass the football. They love throwing it deep, and that says a lot about a team when you have that much confidence. I mean, a first-year head coach, and you have confidence in your group to air the football out, throw it deep, get aggressive with the playbook, and that's worked today. But I think maybe if they find themselves up 7, maybe up 10, they probably will rely on the running game more down the stretch. Will Bedford.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Officially Human. Our mission is to restore respect for game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and court. Do your part. Practice good sportsmanship. No officials, no game. And Seymour, we talked a lot about their special teams.
Yeah.
In that first half was phenomenal. Pinned B&L deep into its own territory on multiple occasions. That's going to be another aspect of this second half to watch out for as the Owls kick things away to the Stars. And it's Axum to bring it back. Axum makes a man miss, makes a few men miss, and gets right around midfield. Beautiful starting position for BNL.
Will that count as an announcer's jinx? Just talk about the special teams a little bit, maybe?
I think you're right. I think that's a mark against me.
Well, that's a good return. I mean, he doesn't take his time. You know, he just gets vertical as soon as he can. Just shoots up a straight line, gets right about to midfield, and a great starting field position for Bedford right out of the gate.
This by far the best field position that either side has had off of a kickoff.
Yeah.
And so Dason Kirby going to try to go to work early. Hand the ball off. Jarrett Gilbert is held behind the line of scrimmage. There's that good run defense that Seymour showed off in the first half.
Yep, and they're continuing. They know that that's kind of what's kept them in this game is that interior defense. And once again, first play out of halftime, it's been the same.
And it's a really impressive turnaround considering that Floyd Central, the team the Owls played last week, put up 425 rushing yards against the Owls. This has been a major turnaround.
Yeah.
To the air, over the middle. And a little bit of contact. No flags fly. Intended for Malachi Goodman.
Yeah, Kirby just got rid of the football, and Goodman didn't have his eyes on the quarterback. He was more focused on breaking open on his route, and by the time he looked for the football, it was already over his head. Good coverage defensively. Here's the 3rd and long. I would expect maybe a blitz here.
Four-man rush. Quickly near side, caught by Kern. Trying to fall across the line to gain, and it looks like they mark him as doing so. First down, BNL.
That's a great read from Kirby. He sees his wide receiver. He sees the secondary playing about 10 yards off of him, and obviously he knows his receiver is going to run just about a 6-yard curl route. He puts the football right as he makes his stop, and Kern fights for the first down. That's good work offensively.
Gilbert's still the back. They hand it to him. Gilbert trying to get to the edge, cuts back, and gets about 2 yards. A hard-fought 2 yards at that. Had to run about 15 yards.
Well, there was nothing up the middle. He couldn't go anywhere. So he just had to bounce it as far wide as he could, and the edge attack of Seymour once again meets at the line of scrimmage. But that's going to be the key, though, for Bedford, is they're going to need success on the ground later. And they'll find it eventually. They'll wear down this defense potentially.
They had success on the ground against New Albany. 210 rushing yards over the middle. Picked off. Alex Milliken gets his second of the game in flashy style for Seymour.
Wow. Milliken just jumps the route. I mean, Malachi Goodman on this slant, he would have been wide open, but Goodman gets a little too behind, and Milliken just jumps that route, just goes full Superman, dives. And how about that? 2 interceptions in one game and crucial parts of the football game. That's a highlight.
And a lot of movement before the snap. This going to back up Seymour. And it's 2 picks off of a quarterback that only had 3 on the season coming into the game. They have done a really good job of reading the eyes of Dason Kirby. And it's been the same guy, Alex Milliken. Had 2 touchdowns over the first 2 games. Now adds 2 INTs to that stat tally.
Yeah. I mean, that was... I don't even hate that throw.
Handoff for Hawkins. Cuts back. Hawkins hurdles. 2 flags on the play.
This could be a hold. That's not what you want right out of halftime.
And it is. Back-to-back penalties on the Owls. That's going to send them back even further. B&L took a second. Looked like they might not take the penalty and take a 2nd and long, but instead they push them back. Seymour had 2 big penalties that killed an early drive in the first quarter. This more of the same. Handoff. Hawkins with some room. Hawkins makes a man miss. Somehow stays upright. And a big first run to earn a good chunk of that yardage back.
I mean, Hawkins, every time he touches the football, he is going for it every time out. He is not afraid of contact. He welcomes it. Once again on that run, he's just heavy duty.
2nd and 12 coming up for Seymour. Very, very manageable, all thanks to Trayshawn Hawkins. Through the first 3 games, he had 53 carries, most on the team by 38. They toss it to him. Hawkins met in the backfield, and that's going to make it a tough 3rd and long situation.
There's no real room for Hawkins. Good work from this interior D-line of Bedford to sniff that play out, meet him at the line of scrimmage, and force a 3rd and long. You have to throw the football to the sticks here. Maybe look out for Jackson Fox. He's been able to high point a couple of balls. That 6'3" receiver.
Hawkins the back. Screen pass. Far side. And crunched in the backfield. No room. Driven Axum there to make the big tackle.
Yeah, Axum is excited after that. Gives a shout to his sideline. And looks like Axum's right back to return this punt. Good play in the backfield, a tackle for loss. And I think, Graham, that was clear on that drive that Seymour still isn't quite comfortable passing the football.
didn't even really attempt it. Just that screenplay, but nothing downfield for Max Coates. Punt is away. And not as friendly of a bounce for the Seymour Owls. Starting field position right around the 45-yard line of BNL, as we say thanks to IndianaSRN Sports Page for making this broadcast possible. Wall-to-wall sports coverage every day, high school, college, and pro. Check it all out at IndianaSRN.org and click on the Sports Page tab. BNL trying to get Dason Kirby going a little bit. The first drive of the half for the Stars. 4 plays and an interception. It was a beautiful diving grab by Alex Milliken. Kirby came into the game with 3 INTs on the season. Now his total up to 5 after 2.5 quarters of play in Seymour. Quick screen pass to get him going. Axum has a hole. Axum across the line to gain for a first down.
Great speed, and he didn't face any contact until right about the first down marker, so he had plenty of space to accelerate, plenty of time to really get his speed going to the first down marker, and he picks it up. Good play design.
And that's really the first time that we've said his name offensively as well, coming into the game with 9 receptions, 220 yards. One of the fastest options for head coach Braden Tidd in his first year. Another screen play, this time Kern. Kern makes 1 man miss, makes 2 men miss, and then swallowed at the 40-yard line.
And right now from Bedford's offense, we're seeing a much more conservative approach, not as comfortable airing it downfield, even though they've shown they've had success, but the 2 interceptions on Kirby, I think their head coach is more inclined to go with safer throws, at least in the first drive since the interception, and it's worked so far.
When the Stars have gotten into space, it feels like it's been really hard for the Owls to bring them down. A lot of shifty receivers and running backs on this BNL team that can make men miss in open space. Kern again. Falls forward. And first down.
Yep, moves the chains. Yeah, just the simple, that's just a 5-yard out route. Run pass option. Nice and simple route. Good play design once again. Just safe throws, safe catches. And it kind of gets that offense back into a rhythm again. Your playmakers are touching the ball. They're getting into a groove. And now climbing into the red zone, they'll be more aggressive if they move the chains one more time.
Axum in motion. Looks that way. Gilbert over the middle, has it for quite a few yards, and he's into the end zone. Only a matter of time before Jaden Gilbert gets involved on a drive, and he takes it into the end zone for his second 6 of the ball game.
Yeah, that's just a great throw by Kirby. Finds the open receiver. And, I mean, that's just a foot race to the end zone. The safety's trying to converge at about the 10-yard line, but the speed on Jaden Gilbert. He just breaks loose for his second score.
And the lead goes to 14. BNL off to a hot start in the second half. We'll be back on IndianaSRN.
IndianaSRN wants to put more kids on TV. And honestly, that's exactly what these kids deserve. They stream more than 350 high school and college games every year, giving Indiana athletes the spotlight they've earned. All games are free to watch with On Demand on their YouTube channel. The cost is amazingly affordable, which means more kids get their moment to shine. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
A 14-point lead for the Stars in the third quarter. The Seymour offense going to try to get going after a 4-play punt in their first drive of this second half. Milliken and Holt back to receive. It's a great kick. And they're going to let it go. It stays in bounds. A race for the football. Won by B&L. They mark him just short of the goal line. Alex Milliken totally misread the play as a big flag is thrown.
Yeah, I mean, Milliken just thinks this one's sailing back towards the end zone, but it hits that 1 yard line and has some backspin. Then you see him panic. Oh no. That is a worst case scenario. After giving up a touchdown.
That's unsportsmanlike conduct on B&L. Luke Morris was the one to fall on that football.
Sometimes that's the difference between winning and losing. There's another look, yeah. I don't know, it might have been a touchdown.
Very close to it. The Stars thought that they had a touchdown, but instead gets a try for one on the Owls' 16-yard line. To the air, Kirby wanting Kern. A lot of contact, and that's going to be a pass interference.
Yeah, just a fade route to the end zone, a one-on-one. Who's going to go up and get it? And they're just forcing the Seymour secondary to make a play. And they weren't able to do so. They're just picking on the DBs. And it's worked once again for B&L.
First and goal for the Stars on the Owls' 8-yard line. That's the first real chance for the Stars in the red zone. It's all been happening from well far out. They get these explosive plays. Now the Stars get a little bit of a chance to test that red zone offense. Brody Horton, the back. They hand it to him. Horton gets maybe 1-2 yards on the carry.
Yeah, now at this stage of the game, Bedford, they can really just rely on the running game at this point. Kill clock. Especially if they punch one more ticket to the end zone and they go up 3 scores, then it's going to be a lot of run game for Bedford, but we shall see.
Kirby pulls back the handoff, and a nice pass breakup from Aaron Holt. I'll tell you what, Aaron Holt has been everywhere in this game.
Literally. Makes a big deflection there, keeps it at 3rd and goal. And if B&L doesn't score a touchdown on this 3rd down, it's obviously a field goal opportunity afterwards. So Seymour needs to make one stand here. One more stand.
Kern in motion. They hand it off, breaking 1 tackle. And can't break 2. Malachi Goodman had no space. And the Seymour defense holds strong. But the offense not yet coming off the field. Now they will.
Could have been a lot worse for Seymour. At first I thought it was a touchdown on that kick return. Instead the penalty brings him back. The defense makes a stand, and And this field goal could keep the score the same.
Beeson missed a 46-yarder earlier in this ball game. And a flag. That's going to send B&L backwards.
Yeah, delay a game. Just didn't get the snap off. Makes it now a 32-yarder, so definitely not a gimme.
Beeson's one field goal that he made this season from 27. From 32. Puts it well through. 3 more on the tally for B&L. They lead 24-7 on IndianaSRN.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines?
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Bertner Electric Incorporated provides professional commercial electrical contractor services to Indianapolis and surrounding communities. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years, our knowledge and experience make us the perfect choice for all your commercial electrical contractor needs. Contact us today.
Welcome back to Bullitt Stadium. B&L adding to its lead after a muffed kickoff attempt, or muffed kickoff return from Seymour. And this time, Aaron Holt is going to make sure that doesn't happen again. Holt to the 20, tripped up. Dax Short making the play, and out comes the offense. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Family Source Insurance. Pat Cherry is your independent agent, proudly representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. Call him today at 317-894-7000 for coverage tomorrow. Only the second set of offensive downs for Seymour in this second half. 3 and out their first time led to a punt.
And on this drive, Trayshawn Hawkins, the running back, can only do so much. You're going to need to find your passing game.
They go to that passing game early. Coates, nearly an interception. 2 flags on the play. It's likely going to advance Seymour a couple of yards. It was all the way in the secondary.
Pass interference, potentially.
I'll tell you what, Dax Short was hot on the tail of Max Coates as he tried to make that throw. And it is pass interference.
Take all the help you can get if you're Seymour. And I do like when they go to that play action, because all game Seymour's been heavy on the running attack, and when you mix that with the play action, sometimes you can find an open man downfield. Pass rush, though, made it tough on Max Coates.
Seymour was really juiced up by an early penalty in the first half, led to a touchdown. Pressure comes near side, one-handed pick from Dax Short. Short moving forward. How about the hands on the senior linebacker?
Woo! Little team celebration. I mean, he just plucks it out of the sky. Then makes one miss, hit the turf. A solid return after the interception. One of many highlight plays from Bedford today. That might be number 1.
It very well might be. Frankly, it was not a bad back shoulder throw from Coates. Short just went up there and got it.
How does he do that? I mean, that's a back shoulder one-handed catch from a linebacker. That's a linebacker turning his body, catching with one hand, and then returning it for like 20 yards.
That's Short's first INT of the season, 5th thrown from Max Coates. And it sets up B&L. Good field position. Off the hands of Kern, the drops coming back to plague B&L a little bit.
Yeah, Kern just some alligator arms there. He heard footsteps, knew he might have gotten hit.
And it's at that point where really the Stars can now lean on that run game. Yeah. Haven't really seen it a lot in this half despite a pretty inflated lead. Give credit to Seymour's defense for kind of shutting that run game down. Here they'll run it. And a big hole. First down for Brody Horton. Well, they mark him just about half a yard short.
Brody Horton sheds off a couple linebackers. Just short of a first down, but good job on the ground. About 9 yards. And we're going to see most likely a run here. It's going to be a run-heavy offense for Bedford the rest of the way, just to kill that clock. Ensure your team that Seymour won't have enough time to come back in this one.
It is a handoff, not to Horton, though. He's off the field. Right on the line to gain. No mark yet. That was Gibson Crane.
Oh, bring out the...
They're moving the chains.
Yeah, they're moving them. It did look like he did pick up that first.
Gibson Crane with the carry. He's listed as a D-end. But that's his 4th carry of the season. They bring him in when they need those 1, 2, 3 yards.
The Bedford's version of a tush push, maybe. A guaranteed first down. Bring in the big fella.
Horton trips. Loss of 2, a little bit of a gift for the Seymour defense, but credit to the Owls. They were right there to swallow him up, even if he didn't fall down.
And Seymour's chances might be looking slim with just about a quarter and some change left, but what you can be happy about is your run defense. They've had plenty of plays today that have ended up behind the line of scrimmage on a run. That's been the strong point.
Eight seconds to get the snap off. Kirby will tuck it and run it. Kirby with a lot of room. That's the first time we've seen him show off the wheels. Gets the first down and plenty more.
Yeah, he was poised. He didn't like any throw. He's obviously has those 2 interceptions. He just climbs the pocket, stays poised, and nothing but green grass in front of him. Great job by the quarterback to make the right play.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Aspen Creek Grill. Why go anywhere else? If you're looking for fresh, amazing food and servers who truly care about your experience, you have got to try Aspen Creek Grill. Potentially the last play of the third quarter. Over the middle off the hands of Dax Short, who just made the most impressive interception I've seen in high school football.
Yeah.
Just not quite able to reel that one in.
Well, that throw just behind Short. He had to kind of reach behind his body near his feet. I mean, that's a tough play. That was a run pass option. Kirby didn't have the full throwing motion he usually does. Just kind of short-armed it. But Seymour will take it. It stops the clock. Buys him as much time as they could possibly have.
5 seconds on the play clock. They get the snap off in time. Kern, not there. Kirby threw it before Kern was out of his break. And just not really on the same page there.
Yeah, that's just a really good outside blitz. pressure came, and it was immediately in Kirby's face. He had to get rid of it. Tried to go for that out route to Kern, but it was really just the pass rush that got to Kirby, forced a bad throw. And it's 3rd and long. I'd dial up another blitz here. If I were Seymour, it just works.
On the move, Kirby has Gilbert, his favorite target. Gilbert makes 2 miss. Finally brought down short of the line to gain. But it is 4th and manageable. Theoretically, BNL could go for it. We'll have to find out what they do after the break. We'll be right back on Indiana SRN.
This is LifeWise Academy. It's a program that teaches Bible-based character education to public school students during school hours. Not before school and not after, but during school hours.
So here's how this works. The students will leave this school building, hop on this bus, take a short ride across the street to the church. I can see the steeple from here, have Bible class, hop back on the bus, head back to school. It's that simple.
Go to lifewise.org to find your school.
During Army basic training, I found out I had 7 herniated discs. Prescription pain medication led me to a heroin addiction. I entered Wheeler's program and learned life on God's terms.
After meeting Greg, I was so impressed, I hired him. When you change that one life, it makes it all worthwhile.
Now, I have a family, house, and a job that I love. At Wheeler, you can have something everlasting.
4th quarter of action between Seymour and BNL beginning, and it's going to start with Parker Beeson attempting about a 29-yard field goal. Has one good from 32. Pushes it a little bit right, but still able to put it through. Back-to-back field goals for BNL.
Yep.
And Parker Beeson. They may continue to grow their lead as we take a chance to thank Wheeler Mission. For over 131 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar of the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. Can you volunteer today? Call 317-686-6239. And become an Indiana SRN supporter today. Support high school and college athletics across Indiana while putting your business in front of thousands of loyal viewers each week. Contact coach@IndianaSRN.org. We just saw Grew a couple of moments ago. Big fan turnout. The student section has been loud all night long, and it must be Grew and Minions night or something of the sort.
It definitely is the theme for the student section. I walked down at half to use the bathroom, and I saw plenty of Minions. A lot of yellow outfits, and I think it's maybe Despicable Me 3 where they have the purple things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So we got full Minion theme tonight for homecoming at Seymour. Well attended from the student body.
Now, fans in general, bleachers have been very well filled out on this side of the field and also on the BNL visiting side. BNL trying to move to 4-1. Seymour trying to mount a 4th quarter comeback, take its first win of the 2025 season. But it's been 2 pretty quick offensive drives for Seymour in this second half. A 3-and-out, and then an INT. Dax Short with a brilliant catch. Milliken gonna bring it from the 2-yard line. Milliken, a couple cuts. Milliken breaks free. Alex Milliken with one man to beat, spins off of him. Milliken brought down at the 25-yard line. A late flag flies in. But a brilliant return. Milliken ran straight through the kicker, Parker Beeson.
What a return. Right after he muffs it, he comes back, finds the gap, still accelerates, and the kicker just gets trucked. And he's finally brought down to the 25.
What a hit.
You've seen a highlight play, I think, every drive of this game.
These two teams putting it all out there And the penalty on Seymour. I believe a block in the back called on Seymour. So instead of starting at the B&L 30, they'll start on the 40. Still phenomenal field position for Seymour, the best that it's had all night. Fake the handoff to Hawkins, in trouble! Driven Axum brings down Coates all the way at the 50-yard line.
Wow. That is a huge play. After a huge kick return, the first play from the offense is a sack, pushes them 10 yards behind the initial line of scrimmage. That is a huge defensive play.
A loss of 9. Driven Axum did not bite at all on the play action, went straight for Max Coates. Second down. Quick throw far side. Out of the tackle, Charlie Bruce. A nice spin move. Gets it pretty close to that original line of scrimmage.
Gets out of bounds too. It stops the clock.
Seymour, like you said, going to need a little bit of juice from Max Coates in this second half to mount a comeback. And it's going to have to go perfectly for the Owls.
Yeah, they're down 3 scores. Going to have your best plays right now.
Coates flushed out on the run, nearly picked off. Intended for Alex Milliken. Luke Morris came flying in. Almost made that catch.
Yeah, that's just really good coverage in the backfield, or in the secondary. Just sticking to the receiver, no real open throw to be had. This is a make or break down.
Fourth and long. The Owls have no choice but to go for it. Pressure comes. Coates trying to make something happen. Launches downfield through the hands of Jackson Fox.
A great throw from Max Coates. Just a great throw. He led Fox all the way down the sideline, gave him a beautiful ball. Here's the replay. It's designed for Coates to roll out to his right. He buys himself time, leads the receiver, makes a great throw. And oh my goodness, I know Fox would like to have that one back. Right in the basket. Just could not reel it in.
It's the second turnover on downs in this ball game for Seymour. Just couldn't quite get that one to go. B&L will take over. Short, swallowed. Aaron Holt there to lay the boom.
He blew him up. He's going to feel that one.
Despite the result right now on the scoreboard, Seymour has really found a lot of positives to pull from this game. The special teams play, the ability to get Trayshawn Hawkins going on a couple drives. It was just a couple of those penalties and then a couple of those mistakes on the offensive line that kind of blew this game up.
Yeah, it's just B&L has a little bit more to offer offensively. They can open the playbook more so than Seymour can, and that's kind of been the difference.
It's Cam Gates on the reception. It looks like they'll mark him just short of the first down.
I mean, even plays like that, just a simple out route, it's obvious that Bedford has confidence in those types of plays. I mean, they're up 20 points, and they still feel confident throwing the football. Haven't seen that as much from Seymour. It's been just trying to find success on the ground, but Bedford's a team that they want to get into shootouts. They want to throw the football, and Seymour's offense just hasn't been able to keep up with that pace tonight.
Handoff for Horton. He's hit on 3rd and 2. Looks like he's just about a footstep short of first down. Fourth and inches. Feels like at this point, B&L will probably just...
And they're bringing in... Gibson Crane, the defensive end.
Also got Driven Axum back out there. 7 seconds to get a snap off. Not a lot of time. Gilbert in the backfield. The 2 seconds they get it off. Gilbert has some faces in front of him, and he's able to get the first down and more. Man, Seymour was right there in the backfield, but just couldn't finish the job.
It was that speed from Gilbert. He was able to use that agility, just kind of bounce just enough to the right side, get past the defensive tackles, and jump forward to move the chains. That's just an athletic running back / receiver. And Jaden Gilbert that can do it all. I mean, you can put Gilbert in really any situation. Like, you see him on that 4th and 1. They are comfortable giving him the football.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by LifeWise Academy. LifeWise program supports educators and communities by improving student outcomes. With LifeWise Academy, your community can bring biblical values back into the classroom. Call us today at 614-367-5767. As a first down for B&L on the far side, Parker Kern with a pretty nice play, making a man miss. And that little out route. B&L still in business. Remove the chains. Finally, tonight's broadcast brought to you by Morales Group Staffing. We're in business to create a better future for you, your family, and the community we share. Whether you're looking for the right career or the perfect candidate, we're here to help. Call us today at 317-472-7600. On the ground, Horton had a bit of a gap, but couldn't quite hit it in time. Defensive line of Seymour there to swallow him up a little bit.
Yeah, now at this stage of the game, just 7 minutes left. Seymour down 3 scores. It's now just a matter of finding the little wins. Like, if this defense can make one more stop, make one more stand, just to feel good about your run defense. Going into a week of practice, that's going to be a lot of optimism of what they've stopped on the ground. I mean, that one just a 2-yard pickup. And you think at this stage of the game, the defensive line would be worn out, exhausted. But no, they've kept with it through all 4 quarters.
Kirby wants it all over the head of Dax Short. 3rd and long upcoming for B&L. But those plays have been there for the Stars. Very explosive offense, and those are the plays specifically that Seymour and its secondary really hasn't been able to close down.
Yeah, that was an outbreaking route going towards the near sideline. Good coverage.
Third and 8. Pressure comes. Far side, Kern makes the catch, gets the first down, and will walk into the end zone for 6.
Yeah, Kern just had to make one guy miss. He did that and strolled his way to the end zone. That's another simple pass. That's just a perfect throw right as he makes his break to the sideline, finds the football, beats the defender, and it's just good offense from Bedford. They're going to be a tough team to beat throughout this regular season. They have what it takes to be an all-around team. Plenty of examples here tonight.
And Beeson puts the cherry on top. 34-7 lead for B&L here on IndianaSRN.
fans, are you ready to get even closer to all the action with IndianaSRN? Subscribe now and never miss a moment. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and get instant access to exclusive live streams. Stay updated with real-time scores and breaking news by following us on Twitter, your ultimate source for everything Indiana sports related. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube and smash that follow on Twitter. Join the IndianaSRN family today and take your passion for high school and college sports to the next level.
Countdown 3, 2, 1.
A little bit of time remains here in the fourth quarter at Bullitt Stadium, as B&L going to kick things away to Seymour. Alex Milliken and Aaron Holt back again to receive the kick. Beeson boots it away. Holt looking up the middle, makes one man miss. Holt has the sideline. Holt again with some room. Holt makes another man miss. Needs a block. Just pulled down by his shoestrings. Johnny Mason, the senior D lineman, saving a touchdown.
Oh my goodness. Almost went the distance. Milliken's, he's not the returner this time, but wow. Breaks a tackle, breaks another one. And it's off to the races. And one-on-one with the kicker. He might have gotten a flashback from that last kickoff. Oh, the shoestring tackle.
What a play from the big D lineman.
Yeah.
Handed off with Hawkins. That was about 3-4 on the first down. That has been a real bright spot for Seymour. The special teams has been phenomenal for the Owls all game long.
Yeah, they've been the unsung hero for Seymour tonight. Two great returns, couple of great punts. That slip up on the kickoff return a few drives ago, but the game was most likely out of reach at that point. But
Hawkins again. Up the gut, Hawkins has room, and he's just tripped up before getting to the goal line.
You got to think that ball is going on this first and goal carry. It's got to go to Hawkins here. I mean, he starts out on the left, cuts to his right, and he just has so much burst to get up through the back, the secondary.
Give it right back to him. Hawkins gets into the end zone. First score for Seymour this half, and it was clean as could be. 3 plays and 6 points for the Owls.
Trayshawn Hawkins, touchdown number 2. He's been fun to watch. Barely even touch. Good work from the offensive line, making it easy on Hawkins. Got in the easy way. There are points to be optimistic about if you're Seymour and this coaching staff.
And Jackson Fox in to attempt the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and it's blocked. Just a little miscue as we're going to take a quick break. Seymour gets 6 but can't get 7 on IndianaSRN.
A great lawn starts with the right equipment. At Reynolds Farm Equipment, we're here to help you make mowing easier and more enjoyable. From zero turns to lawn tractors, John Deere mowers give you the power, precision, and comfort to get the job done right. Plus, with expert service and support from Reynolds, you can spend less time worrying about your mower and more time enjoying the results. Reynolds Farm Equipment. your local John Deere dealer since 1955.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service.
Late fourth quarter, the Seymour Owls with a really nice 3-play touchdown drive, all set up by Aaron Holt on the kickoff return. As Jackson Fox gets ready to kick things away for Seymour, just under 5 minutes remaining in this ball game between the Owls and the Stars. Driven Axum is it at the 15. Axum has a lot of speed, makes one man miss with that juke, and pushed forward to about the 37-yard line.
There were 4 defenders trying to bring him down, and Axum still drives forward another 5 yards. Those strong legs. And who knows, maybe if Seymour, they just scored on their last drive, they got to be thinking, just get a stop here and score one more time, and we'll feel good about ourselves.
Just trying to finish with a good taste in your mouth at this point if you're the Owls, especially because of the opponent that's coming to town next weekend. Brownstown Central coming to Seymour, one of the best teams in this area. Handoff for Horton. Horton has some space. Horton with the first down and more. Horton across the 40. Brought down around the 36.
That's the biggest chunk play for Horton tonight. And now that defensive line might be starting to feel tired at this point. They've had to do a lot of dirty work tonight.
Looking forward to Brownstown Central. That team has scored over 200 points through its first 4 games and have held opponents to 32 points through the first 4 games. A juggernaut in the southern of Indiana. Horton again puts his head down and just gets the first down. 2 runs for him and 2 times moving the chains.
Yep.
And
Horton, he went the majority of this game, didn't have a lot of touches, but now they're starting to force feed him, and it's paying off.
They're doing a good job getting him around the outside as well, because the interior defense, that line for Seymour, did a good job stopping the run going straight through, but going around it's been a bit difficult. That's something that Seymour was looking to clean up, was the run defense. 425 yards on the ground for Floyd Central. Here's Axum, just about 3 yards. But going forward into that Brownstown Central game, what would you say is the biggest thing to focus on practice this week, getting ready for that matchup here at Bullitt Stadium?
Well, I think you're going to have to work on the secondary. Obviously, you mentioned how Brownstown Central, they put up 200-plus points. A lot of that's been through the air. And tonight, I think the biggest issue for Seymour was just giving up those chunk plays. We've talked about it all night, but that, I think, is what you have to clean up. Can't allow 80-yard touchdowns against a team like that coming in here next week.
On the ground again. And that time, the defense right there.
And if Seymour wants to string together some wins, they're just going to have to find more of a passing attack. And they had flashes of that here tonight, but nothing really sustained over an entire half. They kind of just give the ball to Trayshawn Hawkins and hope he delivers throughout the course of a game, and he has, and he will. But that won't be enough for a full football game.
Botched snap. And that's Cutler Chaston. Backup quarterback goes down in the backfield. Chaston going to that far sideline. Looks like just getting instructions. So the day for Dason Kirby is done, and what a day it was for the senior gunslinger. He was all over the place, making some great throws. But also, the Owls defense did a good job rating him a couple times. 2 INTs.
Yeah.
Long field goal attempt coming. It's 42 yards for Parker Beeson.
Beeson's had his work cut out for him.
Missed a 46-yarder earlier. And he just misses it left. Pulled it a little bit. So there's that stop for the Owls. It wasn't pretty. 2 big chunk runs like we talked about from Brody Horton. But managing to get the stop. Still managing to put together a few good plays and stop that run game.
Yeah, bend, don't break type of drive for Seymour's defense. And the offense will have one more chance to throw the football and see if they find success with just around 90 seconds to go here.
Seymour still has Max Coates out there. And he's waiting for Trayshawn Hawkins. 14 seconds still to get the snap off. Pressure comes. Hawkins ripped down. Johnny Mason, D lineman that made that big shoestring tackle on a kick return just a couple moments ago.
He just bulldozed his way to get the tackle for loss.
Feels like the offensive line for Seymour also going to need to take a few notes going into that matchup because there have been a couple times where that line has looked really, really good, but then a couple times where, especially when that blitz comes, that pressure, it's been hard for them to pick up the pressure.
Yeah, I agree. I think the offensive line definitely will have their work cut out for them next week for Seymour. That's going to be another big focus in practice, no doubt.
Pressure again. Coates pulled to the ground. This time, Gibson Crane. Crane leading the team with 10 tackles for loss and 5 sacks. That's his first time getting to the quarterback in this game. And that likely just about do it. The Owls don't need to take another snap. Coates hands it off. Hawkins with a little bit of room. Hawkins with a nice run to end the ball game, but that is going to do it. Bedford North Lawrence comes to Bullitt Stadium and takes down Seymour 34-13. Charlie, we've talked about it a little bit. It felt like it was a tale of two halves, though. That first half, Seymour did a really good job fighting back, and then in the second half, just no real answer for that BNL offense.
Yeah, in the first half, Seymour's defense kept it within reach. They made a couple of crucial stops, something they can hang their hat on. But, it's a great point. In the second half, it was just the offense of Bedford. They really just stayed persistent, throwing the football. They got the ground game to finally work, and I just think they have more plays to go to, a wider playbook for Bedford than Seymour. But certainly for Seymour, they still have a lot of situations where they can feel confident. They're a great team running the football, but I just think they need more offensively. They need more with the air attack. We didn't see a lot of plays downfield, only a couple of flashes to Jackson Fox, but they're going to need more if they want to find their first win passing the football.
And that first win, they're going to look for it against Brownstown Central next week, next Friday, 7 p.m. here at Bullitt Stadium. Going to be a really, really fun one. Brownstown Central, one of the better teams in southern Indiana, going to try to bring their talents to Seymour and see if they can take down this Owls team, still looking for their first win. The Owls move to 0-5. And BNL 4-1 on the season. Big turnaround from last year when this BNL team lost 39-0 against this Seymour Owls team. But that is going to do it for us here at Bullitt Stadium. For our entire crew, Christian Oates on camera, Ben Wood, our producer, my partner Charlie Harris, I'm Graham Nash saying so long from Bullitt Stadium. BNL takes down Seymour.